Hey everyone, how are you? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to organize rhythmic patterns in measures of twos, threes, and fours. So, stay tuned. To start, you need to know the different notes and rests and how many beats does each note and rest get. Now look at this table to review the different notes and rests. In this table, you can see the different notes and rests and their corresponding beats or counts. Okay, so let's start. Let's start organizing patterns or rhythmic patterns in measure of twos. Here, you want to organize the rhythmic pattern in which there are 2 beats for each measure. You need to count the number of beats for each note and put a bar line after every 2 beats. So you will know later what is a bar line. So let's start. So we can see here that all of the notes are quarter notes, which gets 1 beat each. So let's start counting with the first note. So it's 1, 2. So we already have 2 beats. So we write or we put a bar line after the second beat. Next, 1, 2, bar line. Next, 1, 2, bar line. 1, 2, and bar line. So it's very easy. Let's try the next rhythmic pattern. In this rhythmic pattern, we are still going to organize this in measure of twos. So look at the first note. The first note is a half note. And a half note gets 2 beats or counts. So we write 1, 2. Because we already have 2 beats in just one note, we put a bar line immediately. Next, 1, 2, because these are quarter notes, bar line. The next, another half note, 1, 2, bar line. Next is a quarter note and a quarter rest. Both the quarter note and the quarter rest gets 1 beat each. So we write 1, 2, then bar line. Let's go to the next rhythmic pattern. The next rhythmic pattern asks us to organize this in measure of twos again. So first note, we can see that it's a quarter note. So it has 1 beat, which means it has 1 count. So 1. And then the next one is a pair of 8th note. A pair of 8th note gets 1 beat, but each 8th note gets 1/2 beat. So we write on the first 8th note, under it we write 2. On the second 8th note, we cannot write 3 because we only need 2 beats per measure. But we cannot also write or put a bar line in between the pair of 8th note, since 1 8th note is just 1/2 beat. So these 2 here means it's just 1/2, 1 and 1/2. So we need another 8th note to complete the 2 beats. So the next 8th note will get an and. So it goes 1, 2, and bar line. The next note is a half note. A half note gets 2 beats, so it's 1, 2, bar line. The next notes that we see are 2 pair of 8th notes. So it gets 1 and 2 and bar line. Next, or the last symbol that we see is a half rest. A half rest gets 2 silent beats. So we write here 1, 2, bar line. Very easy. Next, Let's go to the measure of threes. Let's try organizing beats in measure of threes. So here we need 3 beats each measure. So let's start with the first note, a quarter note, which gets 1 beat. Next is a pair of eighth notes, so 2 and after 2 and we continue the counting with 3 and after 3 and we already have 3 beats, so we can write a bar line already. Next, a half note, 1 2, a quarter note, 3 1 2 3, bar line. Next, 3 quarter notes, so it's 1 2 3, bar line. A half note again, 1 2, a quarter note, 3, bar line. Easy. Let's go to the next measure, measure of fours. So here we need 4 beats in each measure. So let's start counting with the first note, and the first note is a half note. So 1 2, another half note, then continuing with the counting, 3 4. We already have 4 beats, so we put a bar line. Next, 1 2 3 4 for 4 quarter notes, bar line. Next, a half note, 1 2, and a half rest, which gets 2 silent beats. Continuing with the counting, after 2 is 3 4, bar line. Next is 1 quarter note, so the counting is 1. The next one is a half note with 2 beats. After 1, we write 2 3. And then the last symbol is a quarter rest, which gets 1 silent beat. After 3, we write 4, bar line. So there, very easy. It's very easy to organize rhythmic patterns if you know the different notes and rests and the number of beats or count each note and rest gets. Knowing how to organize rhythmic patterns into different measures will help you in composing your own rhythmic pattern, which is also very important in music composition. So, that's it for now. See you in my next video. Bye!